This past weekend, with the help of ground penetrating radar specialists, the stark truth of the preliminary findings came to light. The confirmation of the remains of 215 children who were students of the Kamloops Indian Residential School. To our knowledge, these missing children are undocumented deaths, she said in a statement. For decades, McLeod said he and former students like him would wonder what happened to their friends and classmates. Sometimes people didn't come back. We were happy for them. We thought they ran away, not knowing if they did or whatever happened to them, said McLeod. The things they would do to these kids, to go these school, it was mandatory attendance, right? So if you were a parent, you couldn't even say, no, you ain't going. They'll come take your kid, bring him to the school. All the tribal garb, all that's out the window. You're wearing uniform. Oh, you like to speak that? What you guys speak at home? Nah, you learning this. So more or less strip them of all their culture. Now, where it gets even more twisted, because that's twisted enough, is it was more or less unspoken that you could pretty much do whatever you want to these kids. Physically, so like physical abuse, and sexually. These are kids. The more you dig, if this is your first time hearing about it and then you start to dig, the more you dig, the more disgusted you actually become. Dude, the last residential school closed in 1996. It's 2021. What the hell? These schools were opened up from the 1800s. You know, like, we got it bad. Like, black people, we did get it bad. But, like, indigenous people, they got fucked. And to this day, still getting fucked. My heart goes out to them, man. Go ahead.
I don't know, man. This has been a news story for a few days now at this point. And when I first heard about it, I wanted to figure out some more information about it. And I know I have kind of like a somber, like calm attitude. It's not because I'm high right now. It's just because a lot of things went through my mind when I heard about this, because it's a lot of there's a lot of things going on right now, you know, and a lot of people excuse Canada because, you know, in the history books, according to the history books, we were the salvation for the slaves, apparently, you know what I mean? So a lot of people look at Canada a little bit differently when they look at the history books somewhat in that way, and they tend to ignore that this nation came together the same way a lot of nations came together. A bunch of greedy people came over here, saw some shit that they didn't own, and knew that they could take it from people who didn't have much to defend themselves. And that's kind of been the history of just humanity, just in general. And it's sad. And the fact that I read this story, and this was something that at the time when kids were going to this school, the kids were like, it was like one of those mythical things, like it could be happening, but we're not 100% sure about it. Like, these kids are just disappearing out of nowhere. They could be dying, but we don't have any proof. And it lasted that long. And this is from the 1960s. It's not like this is the 1700s we're talking about. We're not talking about early BC or whatever. This is recent times. Like, this is recent times. And the fact that it's children, I think, is another level to the game, you know, because I've always said it. I've always believed it. If you want to destroy any culture, anything, you go for the youngest people first, because if they have no chance of evolving, eventually they'll just die off. You know what I'm saying? So when you go after the children, it shows that there's a purposeful target, that there's an intent there that is sinister, because you know either the adults will be able to react or whatever, and the children might not. You know what I mean? And let alone let's not ignore the deep details of this, the screams, the pain, the deaths that these kids must have had to endure, and then placed in a mass grave, somewhat similar to the Holocaust. So this situation right here probably should open up a lot of people's eyes. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised. You shouldn't be shocked. It should not be that. You should definitely be sad. You should definitely mourn. But you should also ask yourself, with this one grave being found, how many other fucking graves have we not found? See, where there's one, there's plenty. The Holocaust didn't just have one mass gravesite. These things don't just happen in one mass area. They spread it out. So, you know, it's a tough situation to talk about. It's sad because it's something that's in Canada. And normally when we talk about this shit, it's other countries around the world. But, I mean, it kind of opened my eyes a little bit. It kind of opened my eyes a little bit to the country that we're living in. And not that I don't love it as much, but it's not as innocent as I thought. It's not as innocent as I
Well, I could tell you my ass ain't celebrating Canada Day.
Christopher Columbus Day, too.
I ain't celebrating that shit. Fuck that. Fuck that.
It opens your eyes. It opens your eyes to how we form, you know what I mean? It's not as beautiful.
Well, also, I mean, like... And I won't
Remembrance Day poppy flowers will let you believe.
Yeah, I won't make it that deep, but like stripping of someone's culture, stripping of a people's language, stripping of their religion, their history, starting with the kids, more or less being like, hey, when we're done with you, you ain't even gonna know shit about where you really came from. Sounds oddly familiar, don't it? Now, really, and I'll end with this. When I say it sounds familiar, obviously they know they did that to us. But I'm just talking about when I say it sounds familiar, I'm talking about the person, the people who did it. You know what I'm talking about.
The great founders of this country. That's the only way to look at it. The people that did it originally were the great founders of the country that we live in today. And it's hard to escape with any nation. That's something that's probably, unless you were one of the countries that were taken over. You know what I mean? That's the only time where you're not, unless you were colonized. You're either a colony or you're colonized. You know what I'm saying? So a lot more colonized places than people that ran the colonies. So, you know, when you look in the mirror and you wake up every day and you have your hot water and you have your tea and you got your little breakfast, you know, you got your lights you could turn on and shit. A lot of people don't appreciate that shit. A lot of people don't appreciate that shit because they don't understand the people that had to die for you to live like that. Maybe you'll understand now. Maybe you'll understand now.
Leave it in the comments, man. Share links is all I can say. Because the stuff that I wanted to talk about, I can't talk about it. In fear of this video getting flagged. But share links, man. Share links. Put links. If you have anything to say, include a link so the people who are viewing this video can also educate themselves, man. I ain't celebrating Canada Day. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, man. Deuces. Ontario will let hundreds of healthcare workers watch the Leafs game in person tonight. I like the Leafs.
Maple Leafs versus the Canadiens.
I like the Leafs. I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. But I'm one of those fans who I only really like them when they get into a position to win. I don't like them in regular season. Nigga,
it's like majority of Blue Jays fans. It's a majority of Blue Jays fans.
Nigga, I don't even like them in the first round of the playoffs. They have let me down way too many times. Way too many times. But I digress.
Highest grossing team in the NHL.
I just want to make sure I read that correctly, okay? Ontario will let hundreds of healthcare workers watch the Leafs game in person tonight. Yeah.
A lot of confusion for me on this one. I don't know where you're going with this one, but let me just get my point out real quick, real fast and in a hurry. I'm the type of man that you either let something occur or you let something not occur, right? We haven't had no outdoor, no nothing for so long because COVID is so serious. We are currently in lockdown because COVID is so serious. And while I understand that there's a lot of people who are probably all happy and giddy that they're able to go to this sports event because they've been vaccinated, blah, 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 frontline workers, we're giving them... I don't give a flying about any of that. Because if you can open something like this under those circumstances for those people, you could have done that for a bunch of other people in a bunch of other locations too. I get it. You want to give them a reward. But you told us that it was possible. And it's not like you guys knew about this in advance. You can't call how deep the Leafs are going to go into the playoffs and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know this was going to happen. You didn't come up with a 6-month plan for this. This had to be like a 2-week plan. If you could instill this, why can this not be instilled in gyms? I'm taking it there. In gyms, in restaurants, in daycares, in all these other places that you chose to lock down. Canada, Ontario government, Doug Ford, two things confuse me. Your diet and your COVID vaccine and your COVID plan. Two things very confusing.
Well, for starters, salute to all the frontline workers, the healthcare workers. Thank you for the amazing, amazing work that you do.
Absolutely.
Because I know I wouldn't do it. I ain't even gonna lie. So thank you for the work that you do. You guys are, the appreciation runs so deep you will never know. But even you, even you must be confused at this course of action. Y'all probably got the email and was like, huh? Am I being spammed? Is this a catfish? What the hell's going on here? Y'all even must be confused. But I guess my question really is, if you are going to this game, and I know you are you nervous?
Yeah.
Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you scared? I mean, how scared could they really be? Because if they do work in like the COVID units,
they're surrounded by this all day. Yeah, frontline workers. That's a good point.
So, look, man.
Even with that being said, though, like, come on. Go ahead. That's
man. I mean, like you said it. You said it all. I mean, like, all I could say is they deserve a bly. They do. But to me, this just sounds silly. It does. And at this
give them
point,
a bonus.
give them money.
like I don't know. I don't want to sound like I get it. And you know what's funny? I get they're clever. The government is so clever because they discussed this. Obviously, they discussed this in a group, and they said, you know what? The fact that it's the Leafs and the fact that people want this so bad, it's gonna outweigh the negative. They totally weighed this out.
You know what's funny?
They don't account for people like us. They don't account for people like us.
No, yo. You know what's funny? I remember Joe Budden talking about his Spotify deal, and he wanted like not more money. He wanted like equity. He wanted to give me shares, give me something.
Right, stock in the company. Yeah.
Joe Budden said they gave them gold watches. I'm sure these frontline healthcare workers have sacrificed so much. And they still are. And if I was a frontline healthcare worker, I'd be like, this is it? I get to go to a fucking Leaf game? That's all you giving me? This is my Joe Budden gold watch?
But some people are super happy. That's what I'm saying. You have to understand, some people are hardcore Leafs fans. Like, the team hasn't done super well in a long time. But there's some hardcore fans. At every hospital right now, everywhere, they're doing their own individual lotteries to see who's going to go. Everybody's joining the lottery to go to this game. And I get it. I totally understand it. But I'm not going to skip away from my other point, man. You cannot just apply this when you feel comfortable. You cannot just apply things as a government that is trying to look like you're responsible, so you have us in lockdown, and then you implement something like this just because you feel like it. You want to give the frontline workers something? That's fine. Even sports fans at a Leaf game.
Give them money. Give them more vacation days.
None of this shit adds up, though. Yeah, none of it combined works together with what it doesn't. Lockdown, people going to sports games, it doesn't work out.
Hey, man.
We're going to open up, but based on how many people get vaccinated, but the vaccination's not mandatory, but will only open up if 80% or more get vaccinated. Like, you guys gotta figure this shit out, man, because you're sending mixed signals right now.
Viewing public, I have a question for you. How long do you think it's going to take for my guy over there to complete that imaginary Rubik's Cube he's been trying to put together? Let us know.
I don't even have one side yet, fam. This guy knows. I've been at this for a minute, dog. It's like, it keeps changing. It was square, and then it changes the shape to a duck.
But honestly, does this make sense to you guys? If you are a frontline healthcare worker, please leave it in the comments. Are you happy with this proverbial bone that they have tossed you? Seriously, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces. All right,
Yeah.
A Toronto strip club is turning itself into a vaccine clinic for a day to help with marginalized communities who've been, air quote, left behind in the pandemic. According to Maggie's Toronto Sex Worker Action Project, Zanzibar Tavern will operate as a, in quotes, low barrier vaccine clinic, end quote. in participation with Unity Health and Sherburne Health on June 4 from 1 to 7 p.m. This clinic will reportedly require no surveillance to get the first dose, of which means recipients will not need to provide their OHIP ID or address. They will need to provide a name of their choice, so you can just go with Superman, and a birthday. So then says, our vaccine clinic is a necessary service to sex workers and other marginalized communities who have been left behind in the pandemic. Our clinic is providing first doses only of Pfizer through a drop-in format. There are no appointments. Have you ever been to Zanzibar?
Stop. Listen to me.
Yeah, I fell asleep in Zanzibar once, man. That's not. I'm not. Hold up. I'm not throwing shade at the people who work there or even the establishment. It was just a long day, but I felt like I needed to say that. I fell asleep in Zanzibar once. But it's weird that a strip club would double as a vaccine. Nigga, I wouldn't eat the food, let alone have somebody stick me with a needle in that place.
Hey, there's some strip clubs that got some good wings, man. Don't. You gotta be pretty drunk. You gotta be pretty drunk to order that shit. But yeah, they got some pretty good wings up in there, man.
Now, I understand why they're doing this. I do get it, and I don't get it. I get it. Well, hold on. Let me start with the why I don't get it. Hold up.
No. I want to hear why you get it. I want to hear why you get it.
Maybe I don't get it then.
Because I gotta hear that.
Maybe I don't get it, but I'll try. Okay. Let me start with why.
All right,
let me start with why.
We're gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out.
We'll figure it out. But I mean, strippers, sex workers, they have ID, right? Like they have a health card. They need to go. They have a health card. They may not have a social insurance number, which I highly doubt that, but they have a health card because if they need to go to the hospital for any number of reasons, you need a health card. So they have that. All right. So what the fuck is the deal? What's with all the covert missions? It does that. I do not understand. What do you mean no surveillance? What is the problem? Are these people being injected with steroids like to make them super sex workers? Like why all the, the behind closed doors? I don't understand that. And why is it so specific to sex workers? Why can't a sex worker or a stripper, just go to Shoppers Drug Mart or the whatever, any other? Why do they have to? Why is it? This is like when Lil Yachty is doing the nails, like the nail polish, like trying to, like, this makes no sense to me.
Okay, so Zanzibar is low-key dry snitching on themselves because what they're doing is they're offering COVID vaccine shots to illegal immigrants, like traffic girls who dance for them and work for them, or might work in the industry, sex workers who are not supposed to be here but are trafficked here. Yeah, those are the people who can go and get their vaccine shots without having to worry about it with no ID. So kind of Zanzibar is kind of dry snitching.
Hold on for a second. I have to stop you.
Yo, what? Why?
You came to that conclusion extremely fast. What is your experience in this area?
This guy.
Am I working with the wrong person?
You keep saying that I don't talk too much about the stuff on camera.
Yeah, keep going. I don't want to hear it. Go ahead.
All right, then. That's what we gonna do. Let's keep it moving. So, anyways, Zanzibar, thank you. Congratulations on your fail. But I want to know what the criteria is for a vaccination clinic. I want to know the criteria for the vaccination clinic because I see an opportunity for myself to make some money. Fuck all this other shit. Because if Zanzibar could be a vaccine, could open up right now and start administering shots. I know they get paid. I know you get paid to be able to have these vaccine clinics and all that. So why can't I do it out my garage?
Yo, I also want to point something out. This thing is open for one day on June the 4th between 1 and 7 p.m. Now, I have a calendar in front of me. I'm going to try to see if you can see it. You see when June the 4th is?
Was that a Saturday or a Friday? I don't know how you
Nigga, that's a Friday. That means when the last person is leaving at 7 o'clock, getting their injection, they're going to clean up. And there's going to be ass right on the floor.
Yeah, they're going to come back to work for 9 o'clock. Get on stage.
Zanzibar?
You think you do get a free lap dance with a vaccine shot?
They should.
I mean, they got to offer some kind of bonus. It's got to be something if they're doing it. Like, some way to hide the fact that they're doing illegal shit. Because, damn, Zanzibar, I don't know, man. Don't come after me. You did all the dry snitching yourself. Don't come after me. But congratulations, you displayed yourself.
Well, I mean, I could have never put that shit together. You put it together like...
Level Up Media Group, baby. Level Up Media Group.
I don't know nothing about... Only trafficking I know is when I'm driving. Like, that is it. I don't know.
Hey, that traffic's just as bad.
Yo, man. Yo, so when I show my wife this story, she's like, yo, you and your podcast guys should go down there and just like live stream and act like you want to get your vaccine.
For content.
Right?
One of us could be Clark Kent and then the other guy could be Superman. Or Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yo, I'm telling you, that would be a dope flex. Viewing public, what are your thoughts about this? Is this a good or a bad idea? Are they giving vaccines to trafficked people who are in this country illegally?
Why you say it like why you gotta say it like that? Like,
because that's how you said it. I'm making it very clear. I mean, you said it differently, but it has the same effect.
Yeah. You're right.
So, what are your thoughts, man? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, I fell asleep at Zanzibar. My excuse was I was tired. What was the craziest thing that ever happened to you at Zanzibar?
Are you asking me, or is that? Oh yeah, that's pointing to me. Yeah, I've never been to the Zanzibar specifically, but craziest thing that's happened to me at a strip club. I mean, my birthday, my boys went all out. I got a lap dance one time from 4 different strippers at the same time, and it was for a while. It was a good time.
That probably cost them at least $500. Your strip clubs are way too expensive. This was so long ago, bro. This was so long ago. I remember getting a beer. It was like $18, and it was warm.
Listen,
it was
I
warm.
went in there, I asked them. I said, "Are you guys sure that you want to do this? Because I don't know if I'm going to be coming back out. Like, I just want to warn you right now. Thank you, but this is overindulging, and you know, I got a sweet tooth." And let's just say that I went in there, I celebrated one birthday, and by the time I left, it was the next birthday. I don't know how much they paid. I didn't pay nothing. They said stay as long as you want, so I did.
Well, it's called the free clinic for a reason. What are your thoughts here, people? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces. Okay.